You've tuned into The Mountain Gardener with your host, Ken Lain. Gardening it can be challenging, but with these simple insider tips, you'll reap huge rewards. Now, let's tune into today's Mountain Gardener with Ken and Lisa. So, I've had quite a few customers come in this week complaining about deer, javelina, rabbits, pack rats. Oh my gosh, the animal pressure is on right now. So, I thought I'd give you a list or some of the top plants that the animals kind of guaranteed they're going to leave alone. You'll just see this list growing in your neighborhood, so you know they're not going to bother. You know, if they don't bother in your neighbor's yard, they're not going to bother in yours. And so I give you a quick lesson. A lot of the autumn colors, a lot of the autumn, the things you're planting now are not bothered by the animals. So now, obviously, there's vegetables. They're going to like all of those. I mean, if it's a vegetable, they're going to eat it. If you like it, so are they. So the fruit trees, they're going to like it. So you got to watch that one. But for landscape plants, it's a little bit easier. So that front yard area, there's plants you can put out there. They don't bother. If you've got plants that you want to have where they're going to go after them, like tomatoes and broccoli and cauliflower and lettuce and spinach, and they're going to like all those. You'll have to protect them. You fence them out or keep them out of that area, or have a space or up on a deck, some way to keep the vermin out of them. But if it's a landscape plant, trees, I mean, sycamores, plants, animals don't eat those. Maples, especially the blaze maples. There's this beautiful red maple. They don't bother that. I don't know why. They look delicious, but they just seem to leave them alone. All of your evergreens, the conifers, all, so I mean all, yeah, all the conifers, they'll leave alone. So that's from Arizona cypress to Colorado spruce to Austrian pines, junipers, cypress, cedars. They don't bother any of those. Juniper's a little bit that tender new growth sometimes, but generally you can put them out there. They're not going to bother them. If there's anything else, anything in the yard for them to eat, they would rather eat that than they would a conifer, a needled type of evergreen tree. So you're probably good to go. The latest color you're seeing out, the newest one, you saw sumacs starting to go into color this week. So sumacs, they're just there's something about them. They're growing out there in the wild. They know, don't eat sumac or I'll get sick to my stomach. So they leave those alone. There's quite a few different tiger eye sumacs, staghorn sumacs, trilobata sumac. They're all the same family. They're all cousins. They're not going to eat any of them. So they're all used to, the animals just know, don't bother those. Most of the grasses, so pampas grass, that real big, beautiful, glorious pampas grass, they don't bother that. Now, you'd think they would eat a grass, but they don't. And it goes all the way down to deer grass, miscanthus, all of these are native-y kind of grasses. They don't bother. Bear grass. So the bear grass that grows wild out in the valley areas, Chino Valley, Paulden, Prescott Valley, of course, Dewey, that wild grass, they don't bother. Whether it's an antelope, a deer, a javelina, they're not going to go eat that particular plant. So you can plant that with confidence and not worry about that herd of 15 javelina coming and clearing out everything. Now, they might come and dig things up. They like nice, loose soil. So they're interested in that plant when you put it out there. Now, this is their living room. I mean, they notice any difference. So you're going to go, oh, let's go. Hey, buddy. Hey, Dave, let's go over there and check this thing out. Let's see what's going on over there. And so they'll kind of root around and go, oh, no, I don't like sumacs. Do you? No. Let's keep going. Let's go down the neighbor's yard and see if we can eat their pumpkins. So they're doing that. So they'll check it out though, to see if they don't like it. Some of your flowers are the same way. So a lot of flowers, like mums, animals don't bother mums. Sometimes they'll eat the flowers off, but generally, like I've got javelina in front of my office here at the garden center. It's glorious right now. Javelina and deer just roam up and down the street. In fact, this fence around the garden center is to keep people out and mainly animals out. And so that if we leave a gate open, there will be javelina in the nursery, knocking everything over, eating, trying, tasting everything. And so it's to keep them out. So I've got mums right here where I know I can see the footprints, and they're not eating my mums. So for you, that's probably the same way. Same with euphorbia. There's a couple different colors, euphorbia, or there's three different varieties, I think, at the garden center currently. Gopher plant, um, what is that? Rainbow ascot euphorbia, and there's a new kind of burgundy colored euphorbia. These are nice evergreen perennials. They grow about knee high, not all of them, about just knee high or a little bit below. They've got different colored foliage, typically a yellow kind of flowery kind of thing. But there's a sap in euphorbia that it just makes your mouth go numb. And so they start nibbling on it, and then they go, "Oh, I can't feel my mouth. What's going on here?" And so they quickly stop eating it, and they just learn, don't taste that one. It's nasty. You're going to need to find some water after this to rinse your mouth out. And so they just know that that plant has created over many lifetimes a way to defend itself through the sap. If you break off a branch of this, much like a poinsettia, has that white milky sap to it. That's an indication that that plant is defending itself through its sap, nasty tasting sap. Lots of beautiful echinacea right now. Echinacea is this bright, it's kind of like a sunflower, but you have a lot more choice of colors. Again, it gets about knee high, maybe a little bit shorter, 18, 24 inches. Have these big sunflowery kind of, but it comes in orange and green and yellow and purple, lots of colors. But you'll notice with that particular flower, it's got a texture to the bottom of the leaf, and it's got a texture spine up and down the stem of that flower. There, it's not using its sap, it's using its texture of its foliage. So when you eat that, you kind of, those hairs get stuck in your throat and they kind of go, oh man, I can't eat any more of this. Oh, it's terrible. And so it's a good wild flower that you can put out there that the animals are going to leave alone. So you can put a mixture, you can put a nice garden out there. It's probably not going to be a cottage garden. You might have 10 varieties of flowers to make a beautiful flower bed, but you'll commit to more units of the things you can grow that the animals aren't going to eat. So there's a strategy to it. That's where we can really help you out. Take a picture of your garden, get a quick measurement, and we can walk you through and go, 99% chance, or at least 90% chance, animals are going to leave this palette mix alone. I can tell you they do like pansies. They love kale. So these real pretty autumn flowers you can plant now. You plant them and they bloom like crazy right through winter. The negative, the flowers are edible. So you can harvest pansies and violas, put them on salads, impress your friends. They're colorful. They're pretty, but animals like them too. So you want to go to more of the euphorbias, the asters, the phlox, the echinaceas. They don't eat those. So there is a mixture of plants. The shrubs, you're into pampas grass, anything that has cotoneaster. There's probably 6 different types of cotoneaster. Some are native, some think they're native, but all of them grow here and the animals don't bother them. And so you're good to go with those. Junipers, generally they leave those alone. They'd rather eat anything besides that. Not all grasses, but a lot of grasses. I'd say 5 or 6. So deergrass, miscanthus, switchgrass, pampas grass, they're not going to bother those. And then sumacs, many of your natives, I would say yuccas, agaves. There's several over there that are just beautiful. Some in bloom. We got a new beautiful yellow yucca that's just really striking, very unusual. And hummingbirds love those, but the animals seem to leave them alone. They don't nibble on them. So there's a list of things that you can have that plant. And if you're worried about animals taking over and eating, if your neighbors are feeding the deer, you're going to have deer walking in front of your house. You need plants that they aren't going to nibble on as they walk through. That's the list you're going with. Most of your evergreens, so pine, spruce, cypress, cedar, firs, they don't eat. So you can put those with confidence. They're not going to bother nibbling on those for you. I should go maybe next segment. I can explain the differences between all the evergreens and why some are better than others. But right now, we are out of time. I could keep going with this. This is one, if you need help, come talk with us. We'll show you which ones to focus on and which ones kind of shy away from, because they'll probably eat that arborvitae, but they won't the juniper.
Water's October companion plants that grow well together are blaze maple, burning bush, spicy mums, and glamour kale.
Few flowers are more elegant in fall than Water's Glamour Kale.
The autumn colors are perfect for containers, beds, and borders.
And it's so easy to grow.
This unique Prescott selection is an award winner for cold hardiness, intense red, purple flowers in a frilly package.
You'll find bright fall flowers here at Water's Garden Center in Prescott. For a more fruitful garden, increased success in the landscape that just feels better, then tune in daily to the Mountain Gardener podcast. Subscribe through your favorite podcast streamer or visit watersgardencenter.com. Better yet, visit me directly right here at Water's Garden Center. Thanks for tuning in.